everybody, and welcome to the Oil and Gas Rundown here at King Operating. My name is Rachel Griffith, and I'm an SVP here. And of course, we are excited to be joining you every week on these lives as we discuss some of the oil and gas news from around the world. And we talk to you a little bit about some of the practicalities of the oil and gas industry, sharing some insights and information with you to better understand our industry in oil and gas. And of course, always bringing you a different panel of gentlemen. Well, Jay Young, our CEO and founder, is always with us, sharing expert insights into our wonderful industry. Jay, say hi to everybody.
Great. Hey, thanks, Rachel. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Of course, we're going to get to some news in just a minute. But of course, we have Kelly Duncan, our VP of Operations. And today, Rex Gifford is also with us, who is our Executive of Tax. And of course, that's because it is the end of the year. Jay, it's the end of the year. We've only got a few weeks left, and we know that oil and gas is special and unique because of those IDC tax deductions. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's always special, and it's always going to be a great investment, not just in December, but, hey, if you want to do like the rich and not pay as much in taxes in April or whenever you file your taxes, whether it be April or October, whenever you have to pay, you have to pay April 15th. You have to pay a penalty if you pay in April, October, but if you owe any money on taxes, how do you get your tax bill down? And it's a great time to get your tax bill down by investing in oil and gas, going to kingoperating.com, filling out one of the, whatever you call it. What do you call that thing, Rachel?
Learn more. There's a learn more pop-up there. They can go on and fill that out.
Absolutely. No, we're not saying that, we're saying that there's no guarantees in oil and gas, but we give you the best shot, which is my book right there over my right. Is that my left shoulder? My left shoulder. Yeah. Upside of Oil and Gas Investing, that I wrote that book, and I wrote it because we do it differently here. And the reason why we do it differently is because I wanted investors to know there's a better way to invest in oil and gas. And it's just a phenomenal way. It's like investing in real estate, apartments, and that's kind of how we do that's how we structure our program. So, but anyway, thank you for that little commercial. We're real busy right now. We're going to be busy until all the wires come in, the checks come in on December 31st.
That's right. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the tax deductions coming up. That's why Rex is here. He's going to give us some very good information for all of you out there listening and break down some of the details. And then Kelly's going to talk to us about some exciting things on some of our, on our Bivens Ranch location. But Jay, let's just hit the news for a little bit. Something very interesting is that, there's a federal freeze right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that federal freeze is now on solar and wind projects. So how does that affect the outlook for oil and gas? What are the implications there?
Yeah. And it's good for oil and gas, because of the peak supply or peak demand. We have a demand right now, and our demand is we need about 20 million barrels or more, 20 million barrels a day in oil. So we consume 20 million barrels of oil a day in the United States. And that's what George W. Bush called it an addiction. We have an addiction to 20 million barrels a day in the United States. We're currently producing a little over 13. Therefore, we've got a demand. We need that oil. And so what Biden was trying to do, like with Teslas and things of that nature, he was trying to say, hey, let's get off of oil. It's bad for whatever reason. I'm not really sure. But he said it's bad. Let's go into all these other renewables or solar or all these. And so they tried it and lost billions. I mean, Tesla was 8% of the market 4 years ago. Today they're about 2% of the market. Why? Because people are not buying the electric cars, and people aren't going forward with this because, they quit giving state taxes to people in California, credits on the car, number one. But number two is they just feel like that it doesn't make sense economically, and companies like Ford spent tens of billions of dollars to ramp up the electric car business. It didn't really work out, and that's horrible, that it did, but it just doesn't make sense economically to shareholders. So they're saying, hey, we're going to cut it off. It doesn't make sense. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that shows you just the strength, really the strength of the oil and gas industry, and how the longevity looks for it. I mean, every time they kind of try to say, anybody tries to say oil and gas is going to be a thing of the past, I think then everybody is quickly reminded after that banter is over that no, oil and gas really isn't going anywhere. And we're
Yeah.
actually just seeing it, every time there's a change and advancement in technology, we really see it kind of change itself. We see a new evolution of how oil and gas is used and what it's powering and what it's being used for, which is pretty incredible. Kelly, we talked about that before once. Remember? You talked about your iPod.
Yep, the iPod's going to say 20-year-old article how the iPod going to save the oil field.
That's right.
We burn a little more energy now than we did 20 years ago for sure.
Yes, we did. Yes, we are. We are burning a lot more. So, Jay, real quick. So, Shell is reportedly close to buying LLOG for over $3 billion. What does a deal like that signal about the confidence in the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America production?
Yeah, good. Yeah, you're right. Gulf of America. I forgot about that. But yes, you're exactly right. I mean, what that means is the LNG markets and the LNG markets are going to increase. Now, what that means is we're producing, about 100 billion cubic feet of gas a day in the United States. We don't need all of that. So if we have another place for it, like the rest of the world, wow, our demand it skyrockets. And that's what we need. Matter of fact, we talked about this earlier, is that, on our economic webinar coming up tomorrow with John Malden, he is so bullish on natural gas, and he thinks it's going to $8, $10, $12, which it could go higher than that, but very, very bullish on that because, they are going to need natural gas around the world. Countries like Nigeria, that don't produce enough electricity in their countries. There's I forget how many people are in Nigeria. Is it 200 million or something? Like 200 million people in Nigeria, and Wyoming generates more electricity than Nigeria, and it's only, I think, about the same size. Population is like 600,000 in Wyoming, and I mean, there's just so much need for all of this around the world that Shell sees an opportunity. There's other companies out there that are getting involved and thinking about, what's needed. Well, natural gas is needed. What does that tell us and our partners? It tells us that we have a long-term effect to natural gas prices, and we feel like there's also a great need for oil prices going forward. Now is a great time to buy low, sell high. Let's get this thing. And let's drill wells now. It's like building a house. Drilling a well is like building a house, and Kelly can tell you this more than I can. But building a house, I mean, you got the roofer, you got the commode guy, you got the front door guy, you got the sidewalk. I mean, there's all these different people. It's the same when you drill a well. I mean, Kelly's getting ready to. He had hair until this week, but he we're drilling another well. We're drilling 2 wells, having 2 rigs move in here in the next 2 weeks. Well, one now, one later, but we have a lot of things going on, and there's probably as many. No, I don't know about that. I don't know how many different vendors it takes to build a house. A lot, but it takes 80.
Probably pretty analogous, Jay.
Yeah.
Probably the same number of vendors and contractors. Probably pretty darn close, actually.
Yeah. And you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to get good people. Where there may be 300 people in Dallas that all do doors. Well, there may be 3 people in Amarillo or 2.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot different. So, but today, Kelly's going by and looking at rigs, and there's 3 or 4 rigs in the yard, rather than calling up a rig company and going, "Hey, I like to get a rig," and they go, "Well, we don't have one available until June of next year or something." It's a lot better, so we can get a better price on drilling today, taking that rig out of the yard rather than waiting, because it's already working. We can drill these wells, these $10 million wells. We could probably drill them for $8 million or more or better because of supply and demand. And that's what we want to do right now. Is we want to get in here and drill wells at a cheaper price, because once if we drill them at a cheaper price, when commodity prices go up, which I feel like they're going to do that by next summer, then we're going to reap those benefits of higher prices later on. So it's all about supply and demand. It's cyclical. We're going to see prices go up, and now's a great time to invest, especially because you get, 30-40% of your money back immediately January 1st with your write-off. But I know that's Rex's. I don't want to steal Rex's thunder here, but
don't steal Rex's thunder.
I know.
That's his specialty,
Okay,
Jay. We gotta leave space for Rex.
There you go. Rex is the authority.
Talking about exactly what you've been talking about, Jay, and being able to continue to drill wells when prices are down, actually that benefits us. So Kelly, all right, Kelly, give us an update on Bivens. Tell us what's happening right now out of Bivens Ranch.
Exciting things. Multiple things are going on at one time now. As we talked about in the last couple of months, we drilled our first 2 wells this time last year, in the fourth quarter, start of the first year. We took a little break. We got these wells fracked and completed. I'm sure y'all seen some of the videos I did on a frack job. Got that done. Those wells are flowing back. They're amazing. We're really impressed with them. But literally today is the start of a whole new chapter. So phase 2 or chapter 2, you could say. We're finished building our pad over Thanksgiving, and my team showed up on location last night, got the trailer houses all settled and comfortable, and today we are making hole. We don't have our big rig there yet, but we're doing what they call rat hole, mouse hole, and conductor. So the first steps to truly drilling a well. So as of about 10 o'clock this morning, we carved the first new footage on our new stuff. So it's real exciting stuff. We'll get updates. I'll probably come January, I'll probably do one of these live from the rig floor for everybody. Might be a little too loud, but we'll figure out a way to do it. Right now we've got some great flowback operations going on. We've got our tank batteries finished up, and now we're drilling again. So it's super exciting times. This is the most active we've been as a team in quite some time. And Jay loves to say he loves having rigs running. We're doing it. So we're back in action here. So
yeah,
that's right. Jay says he always wants a rig running.
Open day baseball season kind of thing. So
yeah,
that's right. We always want a rig running.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right, Kelly.
2 rigs running. We want 2 rigs running.
Okay, sorry. We always want 2 rigs running.
Matter of fact, by the end of next year, our goal is to have 2 to 4 rigs by the end of next year. So that's a big goal, I know, but you can build $1 billion company in a year. If you have 4 rigs running for one solid year, you can build $1 billion company, just because of drilling, producing, PUDs, the whole 9 yards. So that's kind of the benefit, and that's kind of one of my challenges. But it's also, you got to find good rock, you got to find good places to drill, and you have to find a great team, which we've got all that right now on the Bivens and Mid-Continent. So we're really excited about the opportunity. Now we just got to get the money together. And that's what we're doing. So exciting stuff. I'm sorry, you didn't ask me about that. You're talking to Kelly, not me.
Oh, I'm talking to everybody. But Kelly, anything surprising, anything about Bivens that really surprised you guys from, the first operational phase to now? And then I'm going to ask you a follow-up question to that, depending on what you said.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Yes, the answer is yes, we are. So I'll take a historical step back here. I was with Jay the day this project landed the first time the team an outside team brought us this project. I was sitting side by side with Jay, and we started looking at it. So day one, he sent me and my team of young engineers out collecting data. We spent just 60 days just scouring the Railroad Commission, the internet, my vendor connections. We perused data and just dumped a ton of data. None of us know a single person in our company that ever worked Potter County. So we did some research, and we pulled data in. We found some subject matter experts, brought them in, did a lot of planning, a lot of thinking, and a lot of modeling. And at the time I was in charge of production, so I modeled production and kind of had these wells, and we were going to try bigger frac jobs than we've done before, because then none of this work had been done since the next technological advancements. And so we're excited about the bigger fracs, the bigger hit, the bigger hammer slam down there, kind of Thor's hammer down at not 10,000 feet. And we kind of built a model on production. And one of those big bases was, and I told Jay, I said, till we have about 20% of our water back from these big old frac jobs, I don't expect much hydrocarbon. It's going to take some time, got to be patient, and it'll get there. And we just got, day 3 does not give you an up or down on how the wells are doing. Well, for once, I was pleasantly surprised. I was wrong in the right way. So at about 5% load recovery, we started seeing pretty heavy oil and gas volumes, and we were selling hydrocarbons by the time we were at 6% load recovery. We haven't still to this day hit 20% load recovery. So we're at 19 on one and 16% on others. So less than 1/5 of the water I put down there is back. And we are seeing numbers approaching what I calculated the peak to be at this early time in the life. So, it's kind of like those people have that kid that, man, he's the best basketball player because he was 4 foot tall in second grade, or 5 foot tall in second grade. So, these wells are sprouting faster than we expected. We learned a lot about how the rock's behaving. We had a meeting with Jay just this morning, our geology team, trying to figure out how to capitalize on keep doing what we're doing, but also make some changes just so we can develop the whole field and not just, we want this to be more than just a one-trick pony. And so we're going to do a little exploration work on the next well, next pad. We've got some extra geologists come in to help us that are Potter County experts, and we got the brain trust together. Y'all talk to Mark quite often on here, and we've got him involved, and he's working with these outside subject matter experts for this county, and we'll be playing with testing some scientific theories.
I love that. Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it only makes sense to realize that once you drill 2 wells in a newer area, of course, Bivens is a proven oil field, and it's not that no one's ever drilled there, but you take what you learn and you use that for your advantage. I mean, if we're not learning when we're drilling, that would be concerning. But I love that you guys are always tearing apart what you've done, hearing you talk about it and saying, okay, we can do this better. Mark saying we learned this about the rock and strategizing. That's what I love about this team here, is really how passionate and how hard you guys work. It's honestly incredible. So, it's very exciting to see these next 2 wells be getting ready to go in and just continuing to develop this area. Super exciting.
Today was goal setting day for my team in the field. So my boots and hard hat guys out there are just starting to kick their dirt around and get things planned up. And I came up with a list of goals this morning, like lofty goals. Jay inspires me all to set high goals that we can attain. Shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars and land on the moon. My number one goal to my team this morning, I said, I will promise to keep you guys extra busy and continuous all year. My goal is to have these wells fracked by the time we end Q1, start the frack. So I want to give ourselves a quarter to get the wells drilled, get the drill rig out of the way, drill so good that we keep it going, and go on to pad 3 and pad 4, and then swoop right in and start the frack on these wells. I'd love to have hydrocarbons on wells number 3 and 4 by tax day next year. Talking about April 15th. So
April, I like
that's my target right now. I want to have my goal, Jay, this morning was to tell the team was April 15th. I want oil on the ground, oil in the tank. Sorry, not on the ground. Oil in the tank on April 15th. That's my lofty goal today.
That's awesome.
I've worked with a lot of different teams. I've worked with a lot of different teams, and I'm going to tell you right now that I'm just I praise God, and I'm very thankful that the team we put together with Kelly and Mark and Steve and Bill and all these, Ryan, these guys are phenomenal. Aaron and I'm Monica, Autumn. Okay, I don't miss anybody, but you didn't mention me. But I'll tell you, the team that we have put together right now, not only for finding oil, because you got to find it first. I mean, you got to have a prospect, and you got to go, hey, is it here? Is it not here? And hey, a couple of years ago, we went into Wyoming and Colorado and all these other places to exploratory. You got to have a great team to really find out, hey, is it here? Is the oil here? And the engineers will tell you if it makes sense, and the landman will put the deal together and get the acreage and all that. But I'm just telling you right now, I am so fortunate right now to be sitting here and have put together a great team. Or Steve and Kelly's helped me put together this great team. So I'm just very, very fortunate. So
yeah, I agree, Jay. It's one thing when we talk to partners and investors it's very wonderful to just be able to sing the praises of our operations team and just how incredible they really are. It's truly a blessing to have such a great team. So let's turn our attention now to Rex, another great team member on our team who is incredibly valuable and personally has helped me a lot understand, what can be a complex issue of understanding tax and some of the laws and some of the, availability and advantages and all of that. But Rex really does a great job of breaking it down for us. I mean, Rex talks to investors, Rex talks to other CPAs, Rex talks to everybody. So Rex, I want to start with the basics of, for someone who is new to oil and gas investing, how do IDC deductions actually reduce taxable income?
Well, and it's not necessarily IDC deductions alone. It's a blend of all of the deductions you can claim as you become admitted as a partner in the partnership. The one thing that is unique about the business plan and opportunity with King Operating is no matter when you become a partner or admitted as a partner, is you're going to receive a uniform percentage of deductions based on the capital contribution. And of course, what we're striving for this year is somewhere between 77 to 85% of the capital contribution. So if you, for instance, if you purchase a unit for $200,000, you're going to get somewhere between $160,000 deduction, which is made up of intangible drilling costs. And now with the passage of the Big Beautiful Bill, we can now expense 100% of the cost of tangible. So really there's no distinction other than classification of between IDCs and tangible. They're both 100% deductible, which really helps us maximize the amount of deductions that you can claim in the year that you're admitted as a partner. So that $160,000 to $170,000 worth of deductions can save you anywhere from at a 37% marginal tax bracket, which is the highest federal tax bracket. I mean, that can save you $60,000 to $70,000 in income tax, which is a great savings. And because of that savings, basically it reduces the amount of money that you have to participate, because your true cost, of course, is the $200,000 reduced by the tax savings, which in my example here is $60,000. So your net cost to participate in a fantastic oil and gas opportunity, which is one of the best alternatives you could select as far as alternative investments, in our opinion, obviously we're biased, would be a net cost of approximately $140,000. That is a tremendous opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it is a tremendous opportunity. And it's really a great strategy for accredited investors to have, in their overall tax strategy. So again, I'll just make mention of this and we'll keep talking to Rex. But if you do have questions about that, you want to learn more, please make sure to, put a comment wherever you're listening or reach out to us on kingoperating.com and send us a message. We'll be happy to get you more information about how to utilize, the benefits of oil and gas investing. So Rex, if somebody wants 2025 deductions, if they're looking to get a deduction in 2025, when would they need to invest?
The sooner the better, but
Today.
For sure, we have to receive the completed subscription documents, the appropriate accreditation, third-party requirements for accredited investors, and also we've got to actually receive the capital contribution. So that subscription has to be funded no later than December 31st.
Okay, so even if
And
they invest December 31st.
December, if you are admitted as a partner in December, for instance, you will be entitled to receive, again, somewhere between 77 to 85% of the capital contribution as far as deductions go, but also you'll be getting your first check by the end of February, because in our current funds, they are currently issuing partnership distributions as we go along, and there's still investment opportunities, although they're limited, to participate in the two funds that we currently have available.
Okay. Now, would you advise people that it's better to make, multiple smaller investments or a larger investment one time, is there a difference in, how that looks on your taxes, or there's no difference?
There really is no difference except for obviously the sooner you participate, in the monthly distributions. So we've been distributing since May. The production month of May. First check was in July, roughly. There's approximately a 60-day lag because everything is done in the oil and gas business for the last 125 years plus, based on a production month. And of course, hydrocarbons are sold that production month. It takes roughly anywhere from 25 to 40 days for us to receive the money from the first purchaser. Then we deduct the applicable operating costs and royalties to come up with a net operating cash flow. And then we disperse that within 55 to 60 days after the close of the production month.
Now, even the distributions from the fund are even have a tax benefit as well. Is that correct?
Well, the distributions themselves are not taxable income. However, what gives you the ability to issue those distributions is basically a net taxable profit. So partnerships are a pass-through entity. So we're allocating the appropriate amount of income, taxable income, and deductions to you as we're making these distributions. But again, assuming that you become a partner in 2025, somewhere between 77 to 85% of your capital contribution will come through as either intangible drilling costs, bonus depreciation, or other applicable 2025 deductions.
Awesome. Okay, great, Rex. All right, so like I said, you guys, if you have more questions about the tax deductions and opportunities in direct partnership in oil and gas, please do reach out to us, kingoperating.com. Send us an email there, or you can fill out the learn more form. You can also find information about Jay's book, The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing, published by Forbes Book. You can also get this on Amazon. You definitely want to read this book. It will give you a lot of insight into the world of oil and gas. It will tell you how our model is different and what that means for you as an investor. So you definitely want to get this. Got some great stories in it. So Jay, anything you want to say about that before we jump off here?
No. Hey, thank you for the opportunity to talk about my book. I think it's awesome. I mean, a lot of people helped me write that book, and especially to my wife. It's just great that we had the opportunity to write the book and to get the message out there. It's like we save clients millions and millions of dollars every year because they don't pay that tax. And I just signed up somebody for $500,000. He said, "Tell me what I got to do and how do you do this tax code?" And I said, "Hey, Rex and your CPA can worry about that." He put in $500,000. He's going to save $200,000 on his taxes. So he's going to save $200,000, meaning that his investment's only $300,000. Okay, he gets $200,000 from the government, imaginary check on January 1st. So he gets $500,000. You save $200,000 in your taxes once you write it off and you cross the T's and and do the line deal. And then he's going to get about 20% income a year. So our goal is to get you to about 20% income a year. That's about $100,000 a year. So I said, "Hey, here's it is. $500,000 investment. You save $200,000 on your taxes, less money you send to the government. You get $100,000 until 2, 3, 4 years. We're looking to grow the asset until you can achieve a multiple on your investment return. Then we want to sell it. Our projected is a 3-to-1 in 3 to 5 years. And I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know what oil and gas prices are going to do next year. I think they're going to go skyrocket. We may be able to sell it for a lot more than that, but that's kind of a basic. How does the investment work? Because people want to know. All right, so I'm doing this. Well, $500,000. You save $200,000 on your taxes, and you get $100,000 a month until we can hopefully achieve at some point in the future that you get a 3-to-1 or $1.5 million return back on your money. So it's a great It's great for taxes, and people love saving money on their taxes, and it's great for monthly income. And while we scale that investment, so that's kind of the breakdown of how I found it.
That's the simple breakdown. We'd be happy to go into it more with you in detail if you want to reach out to us. So of course, you know where to find us. We will be here same time next Wednesday. Please make sure to join us and feel free to share this video on your social media pages. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this week, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Rachel. Great job. Thank you.
Joining us.
Thank you.